Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor 500 Help.
Taylor 500 Help. They are the guys for all your heating and plumbing needs, air conditioning. We're going to need it in a couple of days. If your air conditioner craps the bed, first people you want to call, Taylor Heating and Plumbing. In fact, Tom, aren't we having the guys come in and do the air conditioning here? Because they are the best. Taylor 500 Help. They also do duct cleaning. So if all that pollen and all that crap that's blowing around is making your allergies crazy, the best thing for it is to have professionals come in and clean the ducts in your house, right? It makes a world of difference. Taylor Heating and Plumbing and Cooling have been around since 1947. They've been taking care of your needs. They are the experts. So make sure when you call Taylor Heating and Plumbing, you ask for Jerry at Taylor 500 Help. Precision Lawn and Garden. When you want to have the best lawnmower in the neighborhood, because you got to keep up with the guys next door, right? You want to go out and see my friends, Kimberly and Justin at Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. They're open weekdays 8 to 5. Precision Lawn and Garden has been providing Rochester and the surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. So if you want that Big Daddy zero-turn lawnmower, you know where to go, right? Snowblowers, blowers, chainsaw, lawnmowers, new models, on sale models, Precision Lawn and Garden. They have it all. So check them out up there, North Avenue in Webster. And of course, nothing makes the curb appeal on your house look nicer than a freshly sealed driveway. You know, they do businesses too. Express Sealers. They are not a fly-by-night company. They're not one of those door knockers. They are a sealing company that's going to protect your investment. And they're also looking for people to come work for them. So if you're looking for steady work and you're looking for good pay, you want to call our friends at Express Sealers. 645-2010, 645-2010. And of course, if you want the best looking driveway in the neighborhood, Express Sealers, they're the guys.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in tepid weather, normalish, Arundecoit, New York. Here. Kimberly. What a buildup.
I know. Are you okay? Did you lose all your breath?
He lasted 9 seconds that time.
That's a lot.
Well, that's
9 seconds.
That's all I'm going to get to say today.
It's probably really only 3. You know how you guys are.
Yeah, exactly. It's a long time.
You know, the buildup is fantastic. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Yeah?
It's so hot in here, I had to take these earmuffs off
Already?
today. Yeah, it's too
Such
hot.
a whiner.
I think it's really nice today.
We really need those AC units in here, those new AC units that are on their way.
Kimberly's, I know, from Taylor 500 Help,
Next
right?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Kimberly's Revolution, brought to you by Rockvox Productions. Fits over with the guys in Bushnell's Basin. They make sure they set everything up. If you're looking for a podcast, if you're looking to maybe you have a corporation, maybe you're just some girl and a bunch of her girlies get together and you want to do a girls only podcast, Rockvox.
Look them up.
They will. In fact, I have to read this because Fitz sent this to me yesterday. And I don't know if he sent it to you guys.
Does
Did
Fitz
he
have a real name?
So yes.
Scott Fitzgerald.
It's Fitz. It's just Fitz at Rockvox Productions. And of course, Austin is here from Rockvox Productions.
Austin's the new Fitz.
We appreciate Austin.
Yeah, I'm like the better Fitz.
There you go.
You are.
Fitz is better half.
He's also in Fitz's movie too.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, Chad.
No. So Fitz, after yesterday's Kimberly's Revolution, The Daily Show, he sent me a text. I don't know. It was like 4:00. And he said, so I'm in a local bank. I won't name the one. And I'm on the business. So he was on the business app of a local bank. So he wasn't actually physically in the bank yesterday. And so he said, okay, so he's trying to do something for his business with this local bank. Why is your hand up?
I got that text.
You got that text?
Why didn't I get the text?
Because you don't matter.
Jeez. Sounds like he needed a lawyer and he contacted you two.
So he's on the app and he's doing business for Rockvox Productions, and Michelle
And our check bounced?
at Michelle
I hope not.
Michelle at this bank says, okay, side question. Are you the one that produces Kimberly's Revolution podcast?
Yeah.
That's what we like to
He's
hear.
on an app on his phone doing banking business.
See?
And the person on the other end is familiar with Kimberly's Revolution.
You know
which
what
I
this
say, oh my
means?
God.
This means we have at least one follower.
That's exactly what it means. doesn't
I
it?
was thinking, does that mean we got to start charging people?
And then he says, haha, yes. And then she says back to him, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, because I love to listen. And Michelle at the certain bank, and you know which one, we appreciate
Michelle.
you.
Love
we
you.
appreciate you. We also appreciate all of our sponsors.
We like banks.
And we like banks. And if this particular bank would like to advertise, I wouldn't say no to the advertising.
Especially when they lend their money at a low
Yes,
interest rate. We
yes,
really like
of
banks when they
course.
do that, don't we? Tom?
Can they just write us a check and just be free money? That's what I asked my
Although,
husband.
Chad, of all the banks,
that would require you to go on welfare, Kimberly.
this particular bank, I don't believe we have an account in, and it's probably the only one.
Gotcha.
I will tell you that sometimes they can be difficult when it goes to, comes to getting a mortgage. I know they take longer than a lot of different places, but we appreciate Michelle. We appreciate the bank she works at. We also appreciate all of our sponsors. We want you to frequent our sponsors because they support us. And without them, we could not do this We the People podcast network situation. And we certainly couldn't do Kimberly's Revolution. Matt Fritz, not
Yeah.
to be confused with Fitz from Rockvox, Matt Fritz had his inaugural debut on the We the People podcast network yesterday.
Is he canceled yet?
He's already canceled.
YouTube canceled them.
YouTube canceled him. They yanked him right off. I don't know why.
He was talking vaccines.
Shannon Joy has every comment she makes on Facebook moderated. So anytime she writes something on Facebook, she has to have it go through several channels before they will actually post anything that Shannon Joy has up on her Facebook page. That is why we need to make sure that we get the We the People podcast website built rather quickly. But I mean, we've done a lot in a short period of time. So the website has kind of taken a back seat. But I think with the censorship that we have been experiencing, I think it's more important now than ever before that we can't trust the various platforms to make sure our message is heard. Now, here on this show, I don't think, and on our daily show, Tom,
Yeah.
I don't believe that we are as incensed and in your face as some of the other
Well, I
shows.
know I'm not.
That's because you guys are lame. When
I
I'm not
know
around.
you are. I know you are.
Nobody's
But-
afraid of
Listen,
me.
let me interrupt. Here's the deal.
Ah.
Please interrupt.
Here's the deal.
Please interrupt. Already,
There's-
we're not even
These-
9 minutes into the show.
These platforms like Facebook
Yeah.
and YouTube,
Yeah.
they have very, very, very
And Twitter.
and Twitter.
And Twitter. Yeah.
What? I'm not close enough to the mic.
No, hit
I
your
gotta touch my
camera.
It's your
or something?
camera.
That thing went off already.
There he is.
Jeez. They have these platforms. They have very, very, very complex algorithms to try to control us.
That is true.
very complex. It's very hard to figure out. I've narrowed it down though.
Oh, you have.
Oh yeah.
And now the news.
Yeah. It's actually quite simple. If you have a lot of followers,
Yeah.
and you speak the truth,
Yeah.
then you get censored.
Yes, you do.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, just like Shannon,
It's as simple as that.
just like Matt Fritz yesterday on his inaugural debut. So
So, Chad, are you saying that we don't have a lot of listeners?
That's why I don't get censored.
And we don't have anything
There-
controversial to
there
say?
it is. So I saw this little political cartoon,
All right.
and it speaks volumes, doesn't it, about where we are today in terms of censorship, having your views, basically just thrown in the trash. They obliterate the message of anyone who has a different thought process than they do. And who are they? I don't know, but they control a lot,
Yeah, they do.
right? They are social media. and
Yes.
they are the liberal left. And
Big
if you
tech.
don't, goose step in line behind all the other Hitler youth, you and your opinion are gone. And that's just the way it is. So I thought that after I saw Shannon Joy's post on Facebook and after Matt Fritz on his first outing on the We the People podcast
And he
network.
did awesome. I listened. He was so polished.
He did
He sounded great.
He's a great speaker.
Yeah.
And
he's a funny son of a bitch too.
he
isn't
has things to say. He's a funny guy. He has things to say, right? People have things to say, but it isn't acceptable anymore to have things to say that are different than anyone else's opinion that apparently has power to
those with
whitewash
power,
everything.
Those with power and money, they make the rules.
Yeah, big tech is not your friend. That is for sure, Paul. Big tech
Yep.
is not your friend.
Welcome to Joe Biden's America.
Laura says, who fact checks the fact checkers? Say that a couple of times
Right.
fast, Laura. Who fact checks the fact checkers?
Sally
I-
sells seashells by the seashore.
I can't even enunciate that properly.
That's a tough
Who
one.
fact checks the fact checkers?
Who fact checks the fact checkers?
Okay, we're
Might say a
stupid.
few offensive things in there if I repeat that too many times.
We're really stupid.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're getting stupid.
So, again, it's early in the show of Kimberly's Revolution. So, Chad Hummel is here with me, and Just Tom from Kimberly's Daily Show is also here with me. Today is not your court date because a
I have
judge.
court today? Oh
You-
shit.
Today was supposed to be
I
Stand with
Stand with
Chad.
Chad.
I Stand with Chad has been moved to next
To
Wednesday
June 9th.
because
Judge, longtime Arundequoit Town Justice Joseph Janier.
mhm.
Say that 5 times real
Yeah.
fast. He passed away, unfortunately,
Aw.
about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Judge Janier was a town judge here in Arundequoit for, I think, 30 years.
Oh, wow.
A
It's a long time.
non-attorney judge. You don't have to be an attorney to be a town court judge.
Right.
So he was one of the few non-attorney town judges in Monroe County. But he's been a fixture in the town. He owns.
And
a
you knew
business.
him?
Yeah, I knew him. Appeared in front of him many times over the years, and
With a client, not as
Yes, yeah, correct.
not as a perpetrator,
Well,
right?
And the funny thing is that originally my
Not
criminal,
as a criminal.
yeah, my criminal case was originally assigned to his court.
Oh,
My current pending criminal case,
Oh,
and
okay.
for some unknown reason,
Yeah.
it was transferred to Justice Valentino, and perhaps now the reason may have been, perhaps maybe his health had been failing, so maybe he stopped taking assignments. I don't know. I'm just
yeah, that
speculating.
could be.
But he passed away about a week ago, and I'm not sure what the funeral services looked like, but the court canceled court today. They indicated, related to his death. So
I see.
perhaps his services were today. I don't know. But
Okay, I got you. So next week is
June
when
9th.
is your court date.
June 9th. Today I filed a motion in Arundequoit Town Court to have those charges dismissed. So that motion will be entertained by Judge Valentino next Wednesday night in writing, like he asked me to. So the motion's now in writing that he refused to make a ruling on at my first appearance when I made the motion verbally.
Mhm.
So now it's in writing, and he can either grant the motion and the charges will be tossed, or he can deny the motion for
And-
who knows what reason.
And then it
that
goes
remains to
forward.
be seen, and then it'll go forward possibly to trial.
All
Did he
right.
get? Do you know if he got my letter about wanting you to go to jail for 2 weeks?
I hope you had the wrong address.
Okay, we'll break that a little bit down a little bit more because there's a guy in Maine
Yeah.
that is
Yes.
going through a similar situation, different reasoning, different. He was also slapped with a restraining order from the school where his daughter goes, and now he was unable to go to the graduation, but I think he's been granted the ability to go to her graduation. The reason that he was arrested and slapped with a trespassing order is different than yours, and I want to break that down in a little bit. I talked to the guy today, and he's going to join us next week.
Oh, sweet.
So that'll be good. Today's show, the name of the show is called Does a Bear Poop on the Wall? Does a bear poop on the wall? Now, you don't know this story, right?
No.
I don't.
So we're going to break down this bear story.
Doesn't a bear pretty much poop wherever it wants?
And then the meat shortage. You got the meat? You got the meats? We've got the meats.
God freedom.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Yeah. So we're going to break that story down. And Cynthia Nixon, do you remember her from Sex and the City? She ran for governor.
She was the flat-chested, not hot one, right?
I don't know. She was a ginger. I always thought she was pretty. But apparently everyone says she's the least hot of the 4 from Sex and the City.
Actually, I thought Sarah, whatever her name was.
Jessica Parker.
Jessica
Yeah,
Parker.
she didn't do anything for me.
No?
No.
Too skinny?
The other 2.
Yeah. The other 2, the more voluptuous of the
Yes.
2. I got you. Okay. Very good.
I'm going to skip this segment of the program.
Okay. Whatever you got going on.
I never saw the show.
So never saw the show. She had a tweet that was just stupid and ridiculous.
She always
Is she
has
from
stupid-
Hollywood?
But she is a liberal leftist
No shit.
elite of Hollywood, and she ran for
I
governor.
don't believe it.
If you could possibly get any more left, she falls off the chart. But she ran for governor. But here's the thing: she would come in and would only speak to like 5 people. Okay, good luck with that governor thing. Great actress, but not so much on the political end. But Does a Bear Poop on the Wall is the name of the show. And the
You're
reason
going to have to
is,
help me out with this one.
Can I just
I'm
say-
going yes.
do you so there's a 17-year-old girl and she's in San Gabriel Valley in California. And I don't know
Sounds liberal.
San Gabriel Valley. So there was a mama bear and her cubs, and I guess California in certain areas is full of bears. I mean, have you ever encountered a bear?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't grow up in bear territory. So I don't know what bear protocol is. I don't know anything about carrying bear spray. I don't know anything about the bear rhyme that is supposed to warn you of, the certain types of bears and how dangerous they can be. But we're going to get to that because
All right.
I'm not being racist, but there is a real bear rhyme. And you can look on all the outdoor sites. It's a legit thing. I'm not making this up. But first, I want to show you this 17-year-old girl in the middle of the afternoon. Her dogs are outside in the San Gabriel Valley of California. And this mama bear and her cubs come strolling along. And watch this video. Watch what happens. There's mama bear.
Holy cow.
There's baby bears.
There's Bailey Marie.
Oh, boy. Boom, pushes
Oh
the
my
bear.
God. Was that woman crazy?
She's 17.
That is incredible.
She's 17
It worked.
years old. She runs out to see what, and she thought initially that the dogs were barking at other dogs next door. Because anytime dogs come out next door, my dogs go crazy,
She
right?
thought the dogs were barking at Tom coming over the wall.
And here's what she does. She does everything that everyone else does. She'll stick her head out this sliding glass door and say, "Shut up, or I'm going to beat you." That's what I say to my dogs. Like, "Shut up, or I'm going to beat you." I never beat them, but that's what I say. "Shut up, or I'm going to." But that's like a legit video. She pushes the dog or the bear off of the wall, even after it's trying to smack at her, right?
That was a mama bear
And her cubs
going after a mama bear. That was a
Right.
mama bear protecting her
right.
dogs.
2 chihuahuas and a dog that kind of looks like my Dixie.
That was
my Dixie
is that
Doodle.
a 2/10 of a deduction for the bear for falling off the beam?
Right? She's no Nadia Comaneci. Is she?
Right.
I date myself there, right? But
Mary
yeah,
Lou Retton.
play the Mary Lou Retton, right, from 1984. Play that
Nice.
video again because
That was phenomenal.
She is my hero.
That is shocking.
She's my hero. I love this.
She's protecting her dogs, protecting her babies.
Does that blow you away? Just nonchalant.
I was hoping the bear would actually shit on the wall.
Oh, here we go.
Look at this.
Boom, pushes.
That is absolutely
Yay! My
incredible.
hero.
She obviously doesn't sleep naked, Kimberly.
Did I miss something?
I don't even know.
What do you guys do up here on Mondays and
Okay,
Tuesdays?
let me ask you. Would you have the balls to do what she did, 17 years old? I don't even think you think about something. I think if you think about it, she would have never done that.
That's the point. Is
Yeah.
you don't. That was purely
Reaction.
instinctive.
Yeah.
That's what a
Fight or flight,
yeah.
right?
That's why a mama bear, literally a mama bear, will attack you,
Right.
Because it's protecting its cubs.
Right.
What that woman did right there was she instinctively protected her dogs.
Yeah.
When she went back and thought about what she had done,
She probably said,
she
"Holy
realized
shit,
what an
am I
idiot she
thinking?"
was. But that was
How
that,
stupid am I?
yeah, that was just human nature. She was protecting life.
Well, she's going to win 10 grand on America's Funniest Videos, right?
So here's what
that
I
still a
yes,
thing?
exactly.
Yeah.
She's good. Yeah.
She's going to, that's a shoe in.
That's Sunday
did this
nights.
happen?
It's my mom and Rich's favorite thing to watch on Sunday night.
That's still on.
America's Funniest
Yeah.
Videos. Yeah, it is.
Like live, they still do it. They still
Yes.
record. Wow.
My
Who knew?
husband
I threw the TV out years ago.
and my 88-year-old
Shocker.
mother. My 88-year-old mother who bought me this shirt, by the way,
It's fantastic.
on QVC.
QVC. It's the only way to go.
Styling
Mhm.
on QVC.
It's the way grandma shopped.
She goes, I thought you would really like this. I know you hate everything on QVC. And I said, I don't hate everything on QVC, Mom. It's just that everything looks old. Does this look old? Does it make me look like an old lady?
No, it's got
Really?
some
We're supposed to
stylish.
answer that question.
It's got a tie-dye
It's
look
fine.
to it.
Okay, you like it.
I have
All
a
right.
pretty good bear story.
So wait, I want to tell before
Nobody cares.
before we end.
I can tell.
We're
you can-
done?
I want you to tell the bear story. But did you know there is a bear attack survival rhyme? You know how so what are some rhymes that you learned
We're going to get canceled.
back in the day? No, it's not racist. It's legit. I swear to God. So what are some of the rhymes that you remember from childhood that make you remember? Austin, you had a good one. What was it?
Old Mother Hubbard went
that-
to the cupboard
that is not
to
what
give
I'm
her poor
talking-
dog a bone.
No, it's like
when she bent
Oh,
over.
boom.
There once was
Little
a man
boy blue.
from Nantucket.
Well, he needed the money.
No,
Not that one. There
Not
once
that
was
one.
a man from Nantucket.
that is not it. That
Oh.
is not it. What was
Tom brought up Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv.
If that was the one you were
and
thinking
I
of.
had no idea what Roy G. Biv was. Do you know?
That's the rainbow.
That's the rainbow. Yeah.
Red, orange, yellow,
Is that
indigo.
something they only teach in Western New
green,
York?
blue,
Because
and
I did
white,
not
yellow,
know
blue.
that.
That's how I
green.
learned. That's just an acronym for learning the colors of the rainbow.
I had no idea.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I learned the color of the rainbow from Skittles. Doesn't everyone learn that? No, honestly. How do you? I never knew that.
I don't remember how and when,
If
but
someone
somewhere
told
in
me to
grammar
name
school,
I would never know the name
Roy
of
G.
it.
Biv.
Never heard of that. Never heard of it until
What
just
about SOHCAHTOA?
I
Sine,
don't-
cosine, and tangent.
Okay, now you've lost
Yeah,
me.
you're done.
Now you've lost
Get
me.
him out of here.
Sine is opposite
But-
over adjacent.
But
Shut up.
legit, there is a bear attack survival
all right,
rhyme.
let's hear it.
Black, fight back. Brown, get down. White, good night. I don't make it up.
Black Lives Matter.
It's right here from Outdoor Survival.
Say that again, because this is true.
Okay, the
Now that-
bear attack
So
survival.
what color was the bear on the thing?
It's a brown
That
bear.
was a brown bear.
And
So-
she didn't listen.
So it should have been a black bear. Then she would have been in the right.
Brown bear, you're supposed to play dead. And if
Correct.
you play dead, apparently the bear gets bored
Yes.
and it goes away.
'Cause-
I
yeah.
mean, who knew? But I swear to God, black, fight back.
Yep.
Brown, get down. I don't know why I have to say it like that. White, good night. And they say that
Good night, as
So
in you're
white
dead.
is like a polar bear, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
of course.
you don't stand a chance with
Yeah,
a
you're
polar
done.
bear.
You're
And
done either way.
you know what? That's what the Coca-Cola bear is. I'm a little upset about that. But they will take
Yeah,
you
they're the
out
cutest of the
immediately. They're the
bears, right?
cutest,
All right.
right? And probably the less stinky because
They
They're
take
in-
more baths.
they take more baths. Right? I don't
Really?
know. But
I'm not going to touch that one.
the bear attack survival rhyme refers to the highest percentage of actions for surviving a bear attack, which are to fight back against the black bear because they get scared and run away, play dead against the brown bears, and the really bad news, if a polar bear goes after you and you are unarmed, you are dead. And that's, yeah. So the black bears are rarely aggressive.
The whites have always been more dangerous in this world.
This is
Conquerors.
not racist, though. This is not, I'm
But think
not
about
making it up.
The conquistadors,
But here's the learning part
the
of today's show.
colonialists.
I didn't know
colonists.
that there was something to remember the rainbow colors. Roy G. Giff. I have no
Roy G.
idea.
Biv.
Roy G. Biv.
Or whatever.
Blue, indigo, violet is the end.
Okay, blue, indigo, violet. But black bears are rarely aggressive. They're curious. They'll fight if they're cornered.
Yep.
But how many times is a human going to say, let's corner the bear and see what happens? It's a bad idea.
Or they'll get into protective mode for their babies.
But they don't like interacting with humans, black bears. But if a brown bear, you get into it with a brown bear, they get bored if you just play dead. And they don't want to
Correct.
mess with you.
That's correct.
Yeah. You will get eaten if you're, but who knew that was a thing? And I knew you
Very
guys weren't
educational, this
going to
show.
believe me.
Kimberly's Revolution.
But this is
Are
legit.
you smarter than a fifth grader?
So she fought back against a brown bear and saved her puppies, and it worked for her. It worked out. It worked out in her favor. I would not recommend doing
Did
that.
she have slippers on? What was she wearing there?
She's wearing a
Barefoot. I think she
nightgown.
was.
She was barefoot.
I
She had
think
her
she was-
nightgown.
No, it looked like a dress.
Oh, I thought it was a nightgown.
It was 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, I was going nightgown.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was. I think
thought
she was.
nightgown too. Yeah, whatever.
That was
She moves pretty fast.
she's 17. She's wearing a blue dress.
Oh, okay.
I don't know,
Monica?
but yeah. So
Her name was
what's
Monica.
your bear story?
So last summer, on our way down to Myrtle Beach, our
Mhm.
family vacation to Myrtle Beach, we stopped in Luray, Luray, Virginia,
Yeah.
Luray, and we stayed at a Jellystone park
Oh yeah,
and in a
you see
cabin.
that on the big on the billboards, right?
Billboards, yeah, we stayed at a Jellystone. It was a couple miles from the Appalachian Trail. So one of the
Hey,
mornings,
boo-boo.
there you go. One of the mornings that we were
smarter
there,
than the average bear.
Yeah.
I got up early with my son Tyler, who was 17 at the time, and one of my twin daughters, Allie, who was 12, and we were going to go on a hike up Mary's Rock.
Yeah.
It's a mountain on the Appalachian Trail,
Sure.
a couple thousand feet in elevation.
It's
So
a rock.
we park. This was right on the blue, what's it called? The Skyline Drive,
Right.
in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So we park, get out, we go to the trailhead. Within seconds of being on the trail,
Yeah.
my son goes out ahead of me and Allie, and he stops, and I just could tell something was up.
Right.
He turns around and he looks at me, and I put my hand up as if, don't say it, because I don't want Allie to know.
To freak out.
Because I know
Don't
I
say
know
it.
what he saw. Yeah. I could see the look on his face, and I
It's
didn't.
like, holy
Yeah.
shit, there's a bear.
I spent weeks mentally preparing for getting the kids up, going on this hike. I had already done the research.
Yeah.
I knew where our location was in relation to where we were camping and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, great. Within seconds, the whole hike is null and void because my
Like-
son saw a bear.
The bear.
So
What kind of bear?
Chad was taking a half an hour to pick out his walking stick.
Was it
exactly.
was it
was
big,
a black bear.
It was a black bear.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, not very aggressive,
Yeah.
generally speaking.
Yeah, in this area, you're going to see black bears.
Yeah.
On the Appalachian Trail, the eastern seaboard, it's basically black bears. Unless you're at a zoo, then you're going to see the polar bear, right?
Yeah.
So we see this bear. It's off in the distance, maybe about 75 yards, and it's walking away from us, going downhill.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Downwind.
So we leave that between me and him. It was kind of like with our, we exchanged looks.
Right.
And it was basically the look I gave my son was, that doesn't go any further. Allie doesn't need to know that we just saw a bear, right? So we continue on our hike. And it's probably about an hour hike to the top of the peak. We're about halfway up the peak, and we're zigzagging on what's called switchbacks when you're going up a mountain.
Right.
And we come around a corner, and Tyler's leading the way. I'm behind him, and then my daughter Allie's behind me.
Right.
And all of a sudden he stops in his tracks. And again, I could just tell, we're about a half an hour into the hike at this point.
Stay away from that campground.
Yeah. And he stops in his tracks, and he turns around, and he looks at me, and he says, bear. And now I'm thinking to myself, now we're not back by the car where we were the first time.
Now you're SOL.
Yeah. Now I'm a little worried. Right. So I turn around to my daughter, Allie, and I tell her, just turn around and walk slowly.
And walk back.
I'm trying to alert her, without getting her all, worked up. So we turn around and we retreat maybe, 10 or 15 yards back around the corner that we had just come around.
Yeah.
And we just stopped, because at that point you just want to kind of remain quiet. You don't want to, cause the bear any reason to get excited.
You don't want to startle the bear.
So now this is where it gets good. About 10 seconds later, as I'm deciding in my mind whether we're going to go further or not, because again, now we've gone halfway.
Right.
I don't want to go back.
Right.
But of course, I also don't want to put my kids in danger
Right.
either. Right. So I decide in my mind, okay, I got my kids with me, kind of like being at the Capitol. let's just turn back at this point.
right.
Right?
Let's don't poke the bear.
That's
Yeah.
a crappy story.
Hold on,
You got to
it's
be
not
that.
done.
You got to run up and push the bear off the rock.
It's not done. He's still going.
Oh, it's
not
not
over
done.
It's still going.
So a girl about, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 years old comes hiking up the trail behind us. And she approaches us and she says hi. And I say hi. And she passes us. And now I'm thinking to myself,
You didn't say there's a bear up
well,
there?
hold on.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, that's what I'm thinking to myself. Do I ruin it for her? Maybe if she's going to be afraid, is she going to want to turn back? And as she goes by me, it occurs to me, I have to say something to her because
right.
at a bare minimum, even if she wants to go
No pun
on,
intended.
Bear.
I don't want her to be spooked.
Right.
I don't want her to get, to spook the bear. So I get her attention. I say, excuse me, just so you know, there's a bear up there. And at that point, that was the first time my daughter Allie knew exactly what was going on because she heard me say that. And then I just saw the look of death in her eyes.
So she just said, yeah, that's Shirley. I come in to feed her.
Yeah, right.
No.
So the girl stops and she's like, really, where? As if she wants to go see it. So at that point, the four of us collectively kind of peek our heads back around the corner.
To see the bear?
Yeah. And
Bear standing there smoking a cigarette.
across the trail,
What's going on?
about 15 yards ahead of us, walk two little cubs, two little bear cubs.
That is bad news right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it gets scarier.
That's scary right
Yeah.
there.
So these two
Yeah,
two little cubs go, gallivanting across the trail and down the hill on the other side. And then moments later, you see the big head of Mama Bear poke out of the woods
Oh, no.
and just kind of look at us down the trail.
No.
And the four of us all look at each other like,
We're
oh
out.
shit. And we all just slowly backed up around the corner. We ended up waiting for about 15 minutes. And then we all kind of looked over the ridgeline and we could see the bears had gone their way. They were
That's
probably
scary.
about 100
I
yards
mean,
off.
that's
and we
scary,
continued
right?
on. We
So
went
my
on our
story
way.
about the lion safaris is nothing like that.
Not really, Tom.
No, this was the real deal.
When
We
when
encountered.
the monkeys climb on your car. No,
No,
that's nothing like it.
No, this was a mama bear and her cubs in the
Okay.
raw, in the
Yeah.
wild, on the Appalachian Trail, somewhere in Virginia.
I mean, exciting yet scary.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's what happens sometimes. What do they say? Fight or flight, right?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's what that girl did in that video.
that was
I
phenomenal.
mean, that's human nature right there. I mean, most people would turn around and, those dogs would have been lunch.
yeah, right.
But luckily, some of us stick around and fight, right? That's why we're here on Kimberly's
Tom?
Revolution. We stick around and we
Tom, come
fight. We
back.
fight it out. Tom's hightailing it down the trail.
He's already
In fact, Tom's
He's already
dog,
downstairs. He's in the
Tom-
parking lot.
Tom's dog had
No,
mayonnaise added
that's
to
not
him.
what I would have done. I would have taken a beer out of my cooler and I'd have offered the bear a beer.
And Tom's dogs would have been a snack,
Exactly.
with a little mayonnaise.
Me and the bear get along. It's fine.
But that's that's what humans do, though. I mean, there's one or two natural things that I think everyone has inside them. They're either going to stay and fight, or they're going to turn tail and they're going to
Hightail
run.
it, yeah.
So this Sean McBrarity is a guy a lot like you, and
Oh,
he is
God.
I'm going to stay and fight kind of guy.
Tell us more.
I did reach out to him, and he could not come on the show today. He was on Fox. He was on Fox like you were going to
I
be
got
on Fox.
bumped.
You got bumped because
What did he do that was so great that I got bumped and he got to
Well,
go on?
I think the Israelis and the
they stopped
Palestinians.
missiles. They stopped the missiles.
I think the the Hamas missiles were causing a little problem the
Gotcha.
morning you were
Yeah,
going
I
to be
caught
on.
the tail end of his interview on Fox yesterday. It was pretty good stuff.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah.
So this is a guy. He has twin girls. The things that you guys have in common is weird.
That's what my mom was telling me.
Yeah, very weird. So he has twin girls. He lives in Maine, and
I'd like to live in Maine.
he was very angry. Not angry. He was just very vocal about the fact that he didn't want critical race theory being taught in a school district where he paid, tax dollars, and he didn't want his children
This is how my situation started.
to be taught to hate America. And that's really what
They hate themselves.
to hate themselves because they're white, to hate their country because, according to critical race theory, this country was founded and supported by slavery. And, it's not true. It's disgusting. And it's just not true. And so he raised concerns repeatedly. He was a pain in the ass. And he raised concerns about critical race theory being taught in schools and how inappropriate it was. And finally, I guess school officials just got tired of him and issued
Get him out of the way.
Get him out of the way.
Get the parents out of the way that don't agree. That don't goose step.
He wasn't goose stepping. So my question, was he arrested for trespassing when he came down to the school?
I don't know those details.
So that's my understanding, is he got a trespassing violation. And then what did they do with that trespassing violation? They issued a restraining order against Sean McBrady, the parent of the twin girls, who has clashed repeatedly with school officials over the last year over the school district curriculum because they were teaching critical race theory, which he was absolutely opposed to. As a tax-paying citizen, you should have the right to bring up these issues with your school board on the school curriculum. Yes?
Absolutely.
They didn't want to hear it. And he was banned from his daughter's graduation over objections to critical race theory being taught in the school.
So do you think he got more letters from that school district than Chad's gotten from East Irondequoit?
I don't know.
I got another letter yesterday.
You got another letter? You got another letter?
A letter.
So
Chad
anyway,
just got a letter.
I reached out to the guy.
Does it get old? Does it get old?
And I told him that, we're not some loonies. We actually have a podcast. We have a network. We have, a show.
We're loonies.
We're on multiple platforms. We have never been canceled off YouTube or Apple Podcast. I don't know if you brag about that because poor Matt Fritz yesterday.
That ruins our street cred.
Was right. It does. But he said he's been pushing back for, because the district sent the community an equity letter following the murder of George Floyd, which he said basically called everyone in Cumberland, North Yarmouth, Maine, white supremacists. And he said that the letter came almost exactly 1 year ago. And he said it's been a year of frustration with the school district. Once they sent out that letter, you could see where it was going, that everyone in the community were white supremacists. And, basically critical race theory is based on the premise that if you're white, you're already racist. It doesn't matter
You're
what kind of
implicitly biased.
But yes. So here's the thing. Little kids, all they see is other little kids. Kids only see other kids. They don't see color. Kids don't see color. Kids don't see Asian. Kids don't see black. Kids don't see white. They just love other kids. As long as you're nice and a decent human being, that's what kids are drawn to, right?
Correct.
The kids don't know any difference of black, white, yellow.
And then they're indoctrinated.
Yes.
To learn
yes.
about racism
and that
bias.
The country was founded on making a person of a certain color a slave. And that's how this country was founded. So it does two things. It makes them feel bad about being a certain color, and it gives them false information on what this country was really founded on, which was religious freedom. And that's why, the colonists, that's why the colonists came from, from Europe to Great Britain, right?
100%.
So this guy, and I think finally he was able to argue his way back to be able to go to graduation. But this was very similar to the situation that you had, except for, different reasons.
Different state.
I don't know.
That's about it.
I don't know anything about Maine. But the school district sent out a basic equity letter saying that, it called for justice for George Floyd. And it said, we call for justice for George Floyd and many other black lives that have been taken by white supremacy in our nation. That's the letter that was sent out from the school district.
Here's the
to
thing.
all the parents in this particular school district in Maine.
Here's the thing. We've covered this topic before, generally speaking, and it all comes back to the same idea, in my opinion. And that is that what in the hell do the schools have any role in what they claim to be preaching? Let's even assume for a minute. That in fact there is something that's real, that's implicit bias, or that's you are born, racist, or that you are born implicitly biased. Let's say that that's something that we could actually put our finger on. What is it? What role is it of a teacher in a school or a principal in a school or a superintendent or a board of education, what role is it of theirs to cram that down our
Right.
children's throats? They have no role. They have zero role in that. They're supposed to teach our kids math and science and English
And history. Yeah.
and physical education and music
Now,
and how to wear a mask.
Right,
And that's it.
How to wear a mask. Now,
That's the only thing they're supposed to teach our kids.
some would argue that the history we're teaching, I mean, and those who would argue are those who are pushing for the critical race theory, is that the history we're teaching is all wrong. I mean, that's the whole premise. You understand that's the push, is to rewrite history.
Well, that's just
Right.
it. History, just like math, is factual. What conclusions that any one individual wants to draw from the facts, that's up to their own critical thinking skills.
Right. I mean,
Right?
we can't deny that slavery happened.
Of course.
We can't deny that, we brought people of color over on boats to work as slaves. I that's something that we can't get around.
It's a fact that's been around since the beginning of time.
It's unexcusable, but that's what they did.
Yeah.
We can't go back and change things. You can't go back and change time. You can only hope to make things better for everyone, for every human being of every color, right?
Yeah.
But you certainly can't go back and change history and make people hate themselves and their country for what this philosophy wants to teach you about how this country was founded.
Yeah, it's nothing but Marxism right about now. I mean, the powers to be are using the school districts, they're using the superintendents, they're using the school boards as the frontline warriors to advance Marxism in this country. They want to eliminate a class society. They want to eliminate the motivation to go from being maybe born into a poor family to then graduating to the middle class because you actually got your high school diploma, you decided to go to college or
You work
not,
hard,
or
right.
learn a trade
Right.
and work hard and earn a living for you and your family. And then that pulls you up into the middle class. And then perhaps you might make it into, something more than the middle class if you really work hard or there's some luck involved as well.
Mhm.
But that's a society where based on your abilities and based on your hard work mixed together, you can advance yourself. That's human nature.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah,
that
right.
exists for everyone
For
under
everyone.
our Constitution.
Absolutely.
We all have an equal opportunity under our system of governance.
It's a great American way.
Equal opportunity. And what the Marxists want to do, what the leftists and the progressives want to do right now is they want to make everybody equal, but they all want to make us equally poor. They want to lump us into
Right.
one class.
Right.
That's it. There's one class. There's no work hard and graduate. There is, you are going to be part of one class and you are going to stay there forever. And we will trick you by telling you that we're going to make everyone equal.
Right.
Right? We're going to make you all equal. Not equal opportunity to advance. You're just going to all be
Right.
equal.
You won't get the niceties.
No, you're all going to be equally poor.
Right.
And the elites are going to run your life.
Right.
Well, as the only one of the three of us that actually have a minor in history from a SUNY college, right?
I have a minor in history.
I have an actual minor in history. No, that's all I got. Nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
I
That's it.
started in the history education. So
Did you?
Yeah. So I also
I have
know
a
bit about
minor in history.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, so I can't wait next week to talk to Mr. Brarity on this
Yes.
fact. Now, I will tell you, what happened was, and one of our listeners, I think, wrote it on, the messages here, that he was arrested for criminal trespass because
Sounds familiar.
he'd violated district rules
Sounds familiar.
because he was putting a sign on the school fence.
Oh, did he get the 3rd degree or the 4th degree?
That he had disrupted several school board members. Now, disrupted is probably a
Relative term.
Yeah, right. I mean,
All in the eyes of the
maybe
beholder.
exaggerated. Did he disrupt a school board? I mean, I don't know. But he had passed out flyers and put up signs on the school fence,
Passed
and
out
so they finally
flyers.
issued him a criminal trespass ticket or whatever it is. And so then they banned him from school, and then they, told him he couldn't go to the graduation because there was a restraining order in effect.
This is exactly what they did to me in that very order.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I didn't know all those specific details,
Yeah.
but I can only imagine.
I don't know why you take the time to go down and put up signs on the fence, but the guy did.
That's fine. But again, here's the thing. It's not these school districts, again, these superintendents and these boards of education, they exist to educate our children, allegedly. And then what they do, though, is they do nothing but, they do everything but educate our children.
Right.
Right? When's the last time a superintendent walked into a classroom and educated a child? They grant write.
I don't even think I saw the superintendent until Chloe was a senior.
Yeah. They grant write. They obtain grants from the federal and the state government.
That's it.
To fund their salaries and to fund their pensions and to fund their school districts.
Yeah.
And they do nothing but cram an indoctrination down our kids' throats.
It's hate.
And then
when it is. Really, it's hate.
And then when a parent who pays their salary actually stands up and speaks out against them, the first thing they do, the first thing that's in their playbook,
they cancel you.
Is they send a condescending letter to you and they tell you basically to be quiet and be a good example for the children. Right. My own children.
You're creating a ruckus.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't create a ruckus.
This superintendent
you're making people uncomfortable.
Who might not have any children tells me how to be a good example to children. Right. And like they did to this gentleman in Maine.
Right.
So first they tell you to shut your mouth. And then when you stop and you say, no, I actually don't have to shut my mouth because number one, I have a right to speak. And number two, I'm probably speaking the truth.
Right.
Right. Then they always take it the next step. And that is they threaten you. Right.
Right.
And then you call their bluff on the threat. Then they have you arrested.
Right.
Which is what they did to him and what they did to me.
Exactly.
And then after they have you arrested, now they follow it up with a letter that says, and oh, by the way, now that you've been arrested, even though it was unlawful, you can't come on campus anymore. Yeah. You can't come to your child's graduation.
That's right.
And now step 4 is the punishment where they really try to come down on you really heavy handed.
But here's what we're going to do. We're going to allow you to go to graduation because we're very nice.
Hence the letter that I got yesterday.
We're giving.
So this happened twice. You and this guy.
Yeah, just twice.
Yeah,
just twice.
So you got a letter yesterday? Why did you
We're the only two people in America.
You're the only two.
Maybe we're the only two in America that actually stood up.
So
that's why I stand with Chad.
That's why I say fight or flight. Some of us have it in us to fight, and some of us say, "I've given up the fight. I'm just going to flight." Right? You're just going to take off.
So they dropped everything in their letter. Everything's good now.
No. I got a letter yesterday from the superintendent of my school district, basically telling me that because of my exemplary behavior in coming. And coming onto campus this past week, because now I'm allowed back on campus. But let's remember, I'm only allowed back on campus because I filed a motion and I had to obtain a court order from a Supreme Court judge to allow me back on campus.
Justice Doyle.
Yeah. But now that Justice Doyle granted me a court order allowing me back on campus, now the superintendent sends me a letter telling me that I have permission to go to my son's graduation.
Did you get a key to the faculty lounge?
I can smoke. I can smoke in the faculty lounge. Excuse me, Mary Grow, but Judge Doyle signed a court order allowing me back on campus. I don't need your letter. I don't need your permission.
Well, you know why
I never needed your permission in the first place.
You know why they're doing that.
Well, that's because I think their lawyers are kind of letting them know that, you know what, you might have fucked up pretty good here this time.
Yeah.
You might want to start trying to recoup a little bit here.
Yeah. Too late for that.
No, it's too late for that.
It's too late. That's
too late.
That's scorched earth right there.
It's too late.
Don't sing the song.
You know, it's funny you say scorched earth because
earth.
I think that's what the gentleman in Maine, I think that's the phrase he used.
Scorched earth.
When he said that, you know, he's going to get to graduation. He's going to kind of lay low for the next week or so.
Because it's about his kids at this point.
Get through graduation. And then it's going to be, in his words, scorched earth.
Oh, I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, that's what he used those words. That's so incredible that you use that because that's been my mindset for the past couple weeks.
It's going to get ugly. Yeah, but I did talk to him.
These schools have to be, they literally somebody has to fight back or they're going to continue to do this.
They are,
They think they're allowed to unilaterally run our lives. And there's nothing in the law or the Constitution that allows them to do that.
Yeah. He says, we'll follow up in a couple of days and we'll connect. I'm very excited to be on your show.
Awesome.
So
Can't wait.
Great.
That is the guy. In the meantime, speaking of things that we teach our children, I mean, what's the best way to prove to your kid? I mean, I didn't grow up with any money.
Ice cream.
My mom and dad worked very hard, and I was the first person in my family to go to college, and they wanted me to have a college education because they were hoping.
Were you the first one in your family to be fired from a radio show?
yeah. I'm a huge disappointment, but anyway, so
Tom made me say that. I'm sorry.
I've been fired from a couple of radio stations, but not all the time for being ridiculous. I mean, not that I was ridiculous to begin with, but anyway, so we teach our kids in order to be better, in order to have nice things. If you want nice things, you work hard and you get an education, just like you were saying, and you go forth.
Not in socialism.
And you do everything you can to be a better person, more educated, more experienced. You go, you don't go sideways from job to job.
You borrow money to go to college and then plan on paying it off because you got a good job
Oh,
and
no.
it was an investment in your future.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Yeah.
That's
None of that
every
matters.
parent's dream. Every parent's dream is that your kids will be better off than you.
Right.
Correct.
And then,
100%.
and I can say for a fact that I have been better off than my parents, and my parents were definitely better off than their parents because, again, and I've said this, and I'm a generation and a half out of welfare. It's I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, my grandmother didn't, barely had money to rent a house. And so with that said, Cynthia Nixon, who has been privileged all of her life, who grew up in a privileged family with money, who is a Hollywood elite left liberal, who was making millions off of all the Sex and the City movies and the series and what have you.
And now she has white guilt.
And she has white guilt. She made a tweet. She ran for governor, right? You remember that. She didn't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't talk to anybody when she came, doing the rounds of Western New York. She absolutely refused to come on any radio station. She made a tweet yesterday. And here's the tweet. The CVS on my corner has started locking up basic items like clothing detergent. As so many families can't make ends meet right now, I can't imagine thinking that the way to solve the problem of people stealing basic necessities out of desperation is to prosecute them. Yeah. So we should just leave crap out.
What a moron.
We should just let people steal stuff.
Who calls it clothing detergent?
Yeah.
Isn't it laundry detergent?
Here's how out of touch she is. She's never
Great
shopped.
take, Tom.
She's never shopped for laundry detergent in her life. Cynthia Nixon.
Exactly. That's a great take.
From
Tom.
Sex and the City.
That was a great take.
She's
What?
never shopped for laundry
Thank you,
detergent.
Kimberly.
in
That's because
her
she doesn't
life.
know what it's called.
She's clothing detergent.
How about this, Miss Nixon?
Uh-oh.
Is it Mrs.? Is it Miss? Is it he? Is it she? Is it they? Is it them? What do I call him, her, she, it?
It's a long list.
What do I call?
It's a laundry list.
What do
of
I
things.
call Cynthia Nixon?
I think she is a.
Let's go with Hollywood elite.
She has a significant
Is she a real
other.
estate agent, Chad?
She is.
That's
She is.
a great question.
I think she's either bisexual
Counselor.
or she's gay. I don't know what she identifies as.
Well,
now.
whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care, what she does in her bedroom. I really don't. What I do care about, though, is that horseshit virtue signaling that she does in that tweet.
I know,
Right? And how
Right.
about this, Cynthia Nixon? How many millions of dollars do you have in your bank account, Cynthia? How many tens of millions of dollars? So if you have such a problem with these so-called poor people that can't afford laundry detergent,
So how
and you
dare
want to
she-
do something
yeah.
to help them, why don't you reach into your tens of millions of dollars, go stand on the street corner and ask and find who these people are and buy them the laundry detergent. Walk into CVS, go find the clerk that's on duty, find the one that has the key.
Right.
They'll make the announcement over this PA system with the clerk with the key. Please report to aisle 2B and open up the laundry detergent. She can buy all the laundry detergent in the world for these people.
and stand
If
out and
she
hand
really
out the
gave a
pods.
shit.
She'll just hand out the tide. She doesn't
Yes.
give a shit. She just wants to obviously tweet something like
She
that.
wants
So
the virtue
ridiculous.
signal.
Yes, she does.
She wants to create more socialist programs that the middle class will have to pay for.
Right.
So that then the middle class will never be able to get out of the middle class.
Because if the poor is stealing, we'll pour them.
Chad, everybody has a right to clean clothes.
They shouldn't be prosecuted. Because they're stealing stuff from CVS. I mean, they lock up a lot of stuff. What do they lock up? I know
razors.
They lock up the razors. They lock
Guns.
up baby formula. They lock up guns. Baby formula. They lock up cigarettes. Right? They
Condoms.
I don't know what else
I
they
was
lock
going
up.
to say, I think they lock up the condoms now. I mean, I have 4 kids. I wouldn't know.
Do they?
Some hair products.
Hair product.
When I worked at Walmart, they locked up a bunch of
Sudafed.
those.
They lock up. They lock up perfume.
Yeah, the Sudafed.
Like different perfumes at CVS and Walgreens you can't get into. You have to have someone with at Walmart only because I
don't
know
go
this.
to Walmart.
Only at Walmart. Only
Kimberly knows this though.
some of the nail stuff they keep locked up, and I know this because
Because you stole it before.
Because you go to Walmart.
No, I don't steal anything. I've been poor, but I don't steal stuff.
They have Walmart in the gated community in Greece.
They do. It's the one right across I don't go to the bougie one on Dewey. I go to the little bitty one. I'm not bougie enough to go to the Dewey Avenue. But that's what she's saying. Because they're poor.
What is she saying? She's an asshole. That's what she's saying.
Because they're poor and they're stealing stuff, they shouldn't be prosecuted. All poor people, according to Cynthia Nixon, should be able to steal stuff with no repercussions.
What if rich people steal?
Well,
should they be prosecuted? I mean, what is her end game here?
Her end game is that poor people should be able to rob stores blind, and you shouldn't be able to do anything about it because they're poor.
Well, that's just it. We have to take her at her word.
How ridiculous
right?
is that? I've never heard.
So, like a
like
vaccination card, should we have an income card that you
Yes.
you just flash
You
your
know what?
income card and you get to take anything you want?
You only made $10,000 last year. Go ahead and wipe me out.
It's free.
If you got the card, you could take anything you
Go
want.
ahead and wipe out the Walgreens. Just come on in with your buddies and just rob
Cynthia,
us
I have
blind.
a question for you. If
And
you're
now the news.
does she have any children? Let's say she has. Okay, so let's say she has a 16-year-old. Okay, and let's say that 16-year-old actually wanted to work for a living. I know that her 16-year-old would never want to work for a living because her 16-year-old has already been indoctrinated to believe that work is probably beneath them,
right?
And that they'll just survive on their trust, on the trust that Cynthia set up, with all her high-powered lawyers, right?
Right.
So, but let's assume for a minute that Cynthia's 16-year-old daughter or son wanted to actually get a job. And let's say that 16-year-old child wanted to get a job at a place like, I don't know, CVS.
Okay.
Right? Would her 16-year-old expect to get paid to work there?
I think that the 16-year-old would probably expect to get paid, just like she expects to get paid
and Cynthia
when she works on a movie.
Exactly. And Cynthia would want her son or daughter to get paid a living wage, of course. That's code for, too much money.
Right.
$15 an hour.
16 sometimes.
Yeah. So she would want her daughter to get a living wage. Well, how does that jive with she also wants everyone to walk into the store and get things for free?
That's it.
Who has to pay the wage then? Because the store owner who has to give away things for free because they're not allowed to lock it up wouldn't have any money then to pay her daughter.
Well,
how does that work, Cynthia Nixon?
Just
Please
have no
explain
employees.
to me the economics behind how this woke-ass socialist Marxist bullshit works.
I know.
I really want somebody to explain it to me.
Well, you do
All
know.
you liberals, all you progressives that are watching and listening right now, please call up. I have a phone right here on the counter.
It doesn't work.
It's just John Patrick O'Brien, Chad. He's the only one.
It doesn't
Please
work.
call me right now and explain to me how your socialist, Marxist, progressive, woke-ass bullshit works. I want to know. Call me right now. I'm waiting.
That doesn't work. Yeah, but no, that's exactly true. Is she expects Walmart and Walgreens
To eat
and
it.
CVS just to eat the cost.
Yeah, they're rich. They can eat it.
And just pass it on to the middle class or whomever.
Who's got more money, Cynthia Nixon or the CEO of Walmart? I bet that would be a pretty good horse race to see who has more money.
Yeah, my money's on Walmart.
Yeah,
CEO.
but Cynthia's got enough, doesn't she?
She's got enough
So
money.
again, now we're back to
She's got enough
square
money.
one. She can get her ass out in the street and hand out free
Hey,
laundry
listen,
detergent.
she has enough money for a nice little co-op on the Upper East Side of New York City. I mean, she lives very comfortably, Cynthia Nixon. But that's
Does she want to buy a resort style property in Williamson?
I know you just listed a property on
list it?
Williams.
It's coming up.
But I thought
Coming up.
I thought that was interesting.
Revere Realty. Tell
Yes.
us more about your listing.
Oh,
Revere
it's the most gorgeous place on earth. I can't wait to get it listed.
And it's in Wayne County.
Yeah.
It's
Drone
in-
video.
Have
Wait,
you
wait,
not
well,
got
hold
a
on a
list?
second.
Everything's coming.
Most gorgeous place on earth,
Wayne County.
Wayne County. I'm trying to.
Hey, I will
There's
go
lots
out.
of inconsistencies
I will
on this
go out
show
and list
today.
a house in Wayne County. I don't care. I don't
This
discriminate.
property threads the needle, Chad.
All right, I believe you.
Have you listed it yet?
No, not till next week.
Oh, okay.
We
Not
got to
till
get
next
the
week.
drone video and all the pictures taken.
Oh,
Drone
okay.
videos.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty scary.
This is
This is the
some
real
acreage.
deal.
What are we talking about? How many acres in Wayne County are we?
Oh, 50.
It's a nice
But
little
it's got
piece
multiple ponds.
of
It's
property.
a log home.
Do they have
Yeah.
laundry detergent?
I didn't see any, Chad. In fact, I don't even think they have a washing machine.
Can I ask you guys, as we're drawing to a close of
No.
Kimberly's Revolution, which it's been a fine show today, hasn't
We have
it?
great sponsors, don't we, Kimberly?
Does a bear poop on the wall is
Does a-
brought to you
Yes.
Bears shit on the wall
Does a-
until it gets pushed off by.
by Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, and of course the Taylor 500 Help. Taylor
Oh,
Heating and Plumbing,
Taylor.
500 Help. And also our sponsor, Precision Lawn and Garden and Express Sealers, does a bear poop on the wall.
I just got to say one thing.
Mm.
So, if I wanted to get a quote, for
Okay,
example,
that's one thing.
on a driveway or on a sealing job, should I call Express Sealers or should I just ask for my quote over the podcast here?
You just ask for your quote over the podcast.
In case they're listening, in case Brian,
645-2010 if you need a quote.
in case Brian's listening at Express Sealers or our private drive at home,
Oh, fancy.
Charge them double, Brian.
we got a new
Private
road.
drive.
We got a new road put in last year, and now a year later it needs to be sealed. And I can't make the call. There's 5 property owners
Oh, okay.
that all have to
So
basically
you share the cost.
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's good.
We all have to submit a bid, from a hand-picked company, and then we got to vote on the bid.
So
So
our
I'm going to get my bid from Express Sealer. So
course.
Brian, give me a bid.
So
on this
are our
property.
sponsors supporting us, or are we supporting our sponsors?
It all comes around,
Oh,
right?
It's a
okay.
mutually symbiotic relationship.
Yes. What he
I'll
said.
go get the checkbook.
I want to ask you guys, do you have a pool? You have
Yes.
a pool, and do you have a pool?
Just
No.
got opened 2
I have a
days ago.
redneck pool. It's called a hot tub.
Okay. So I have a pool. Let me
Yeah,
ask
I'm the only
you,
one here without a pool.
Austin, you know where I'm going with this.
Austin has a
Have
pool.
you
He's from
seen-
Webster.
Have you seen this pool in London? It is 115 feet high,
Holy shit!
and it is, look at that. It's connected between 2 buildings.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
It is connected between 2 buildings. It just opened yesterday.
But a lot of fun things happen in that pool.
And
That's open to the public.
you going to get in that pool?
Sure.
No,
Why not?
It's at a really
I'd be
fancy.
scared.
It's at a really fancy apartment building.
I'm scared.
Are you scared?
I bet Cynthia Nixon has access to that pool.
She probably
I
has
saw-
that pool.
my
probably owns that
question
pool.
is, who cleans that pool?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stand on the edge of that pool. Can you play that video again? You can't stand on the edge and like scoop out the crap, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
That floats in.
Yeah,
Look
I
at that.
walk around my pool all day long.
How
and
do they
pull
clean
out
it from the
cottonweed.
sides? Yeah. How do you do that? Because you can't stand on the edge.
I bet it has some very intrinsic filters.
You think it has one of those little,
It has one a pool Roomba.
like a dolphin, right? They have one of those manual pool.
Maybe it has one of those little fish like in your fish tank that sucker the side on it.
These are stupid things I think about on a regular basis. How are they cleaning the side of that pool? That's all
Can't say I would have thought of that question, but that's a good question.
Yeah, because my brain looks in fabulous ways.
You're a thinker.
I am a thinker. All right.
She's a thinker.
That's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution. What do you got on tap for now? What are you doing tonight?
I have a softball game. My daughter Taylor has a JV softball game tonight over at East Irondequoit High School.
Mask on.
Yeah, mask on.
Mask on.
It's insane over there right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Tom?
Whatever Lori says we're doing.
That's a fine answer for a man.
How about you, Miss Kimberly?
What am I doing?
What are you doing tonight?
Okay, so my crock pot crapped the bed, and I had to make a roast in a Dutch oven. So
All
I'm
right.
hoping it's done when I get home so I can feed
You
my
got to get
mother
an
roast beef.
Instapot.
You have a Dutch oven at home?
I have
That's sweet.
it's something you just,
I always use the Dutch oven just out, camping in the woods. I never really pictured a Dutch oven as a home
I thought that's
cooking
what
device.
Yeah,
shitting in
put
the
it-
woods. Wasn't that called shitting in the woods? A Dutch oven?
I didn't realize the crock pot wasn't working until 2 hours into it.
Instapot.
And I'm realizing.
Don't you have a microwave?
Why don't I? You
Instapot.
can't make a roast in a microwave.
Instapot.
Jesus.
They're like $40.
Just make
Guys,
popcorn.
you guys-
Make popcorn for your
You
family.
can
guys
make a
are-
roast in 30 minutes.
I'll give my mom whiskey and popcorn. That's good. It's
What
good
else
for
could you
Chad
ask
and Tom.
for?
Why
That's
isn't
right.
it good for you, Mom? Right? No, so that's what
Uh.
I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna be like a good little woman and I'm gonna put dinner on the table. I do it all, man. I sell houses. I help people buy houses.
Are you
When's
gonna
the
be
last
I
Are
time?
you
do
gonna
a
be barefoot?
podcast.
Are you gonna be barefoot when you serve dinner?
They'll be barefoot.
When's the
55.
last time you put dinner on the table?
I put dinner on the table every day.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know. All right, that's
Well,
it for
We'll have
Kimberly's
to
Revolution.
confirm that with Rich.
As always, what do we say?
Go America.
God bless. Be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.